Welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making us a part of your day. So many content options out there, so whenever you come over here to hang out, we appreciate you. So, according to reports, good news on the Niners injury front as it pertains to the statuses for Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams going into Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. First, though, speaking of that game, we'll be back for another watch party in primetime on Monday. We're giving away a signed Frank Gore jersey, and we're also going to raffle off a Niners hat. It's going to be lit. It'll be the best place to experience the game outside of being at Levi's Stadium or at the stadium in Minnesota. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. Therefore, when we do go live, you will be notified. These players not practicing on Thursday. And you look at the Niners injury report here, you were expecting Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams to be on it and not practicing, because at this point, Kyle Shanahan has pretty much said that all three of those, all pros, are going to be day to day. And in my estimation, I think they're basically going to be like game time decisions, because you have the Vikings this week on Monday Night Football. Then you have the Bengals the following week. Then you're bye. So if you want to err on the side of caution and be cautious with some of your premier players, do you want to push it as far as their injury goes or give them some rest time? I will say the extra day of rest does help. And then Aaron Banks on the injury report and Dre Greenlaw as well. As for the all-pro players here who all got banged up in that first loss of the season to the Cleveland Browns, we first start off with Christian McCaffrey. And good news here, according to all reports out there, the oblique injury that he suffered, it's all about pain tolerance. The MRI and X-rays came back negative, and all of them were clean. Kyle Shanahan said on Thursday during his press conference that the results of the MRI, very encouraging. The extra day of rest could help him. It could help all of the players. On this injury report, it's wild because since Kyle Shanahan got hired in 2017, the Niners have been top 10 in injury rate, meaning they've suffered the top 10 most injuries in the NFL every single season since 2017. Going into Cleveland, they were very healthy. And then against the Browns, they got banged up. The legitimate question here for McCaffrey, when you factor in the position that he plays, his playing style, and his usage up to this point, should the Niners rest him? Because this San Francisco offense is not the same without Christian McCaffrey as they are with him, as evidenced by, since the trade with the Carolina Panthers last year, about a year ago at this point, the Niners have averaged more than 30 points per game. And the only game in the regular season that they've lost while McCaffrey has started against the Cleveland Browns. And you look at the upcoming schedule for the Niners here, you have a winnable game against the Vikings, another winnable game against the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Joe Burrow getting healthier and healthier coming off that calf injury, but you should still win that game at home because the Bengals haven't played great football up to this point. And then you have that bye week, week 9. So do you decide to rest Christian McCaffrey against Minnesota, against Cincinnati, and then the bye week, and then he has about a month to get right? We will certainly see. McCaffrey games missed. He's been kind of pinpointed as an injury-prone player, but really he's only been injured in 2 seasons. And they were back-to-back seasons in which he did miss a lot of time. In 2020, 13 games missed with a nagging hamstring, and then in 2021, missed 9 games as well. 2022, question marks, because we will see what happens. What do you think happens? Should McCaffrey play this week? If you're John Lynch, you're Kyle Shanahan, you're this organization, what are you doing with him? P for play, R for rest. Chime into the comment section right now. I'm going to chime in and say that Prize Picks is one of the favorite apps that I have on my phone, and it's my favorite app when it comes to playing daily fantasy sports, the largest independently run daily fantasy sports app in North America. And we have a great deal for all of you watching right now, up to a $100 deposit match at prizepicks.com/CLNS. This is daily fantasy made easy. The game that I love, you pick 2+ players, you choose more or less on their projected stat lines. And here are producer Chip's picks for this Monday Night Football matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. TJ Hawkinson got a bag from Minnesota. He's been a big disappointment. And the Niners defend tight ends well because of how good Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are, as well as how good the Niners safeties have been. So Chip likes less than 48.5 receiving yards for TJ Hawkinson, less than 232.5 passing yards for Kirk Cousins going up against one of the best defenses in the league that the Niners boost. And then Brock Purdy. How about 2 passing touchdowns? I like it, so we both like them more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. So get your picks in, and let me know what picks that you submit. Reach out to me, Twitter and Instagram, prizepicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS for that up to $100 deposit match. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. That link is down below in the comments section and in the description of this video. So we gave you the latest on Christian McCaffrey. Now, the latest on Deebo Samuel, and you can hear from the 2021 All-Pro after suffering that shoulder injury against the Cleveland Browns. Here's what he had to say to Kay Adams this week. Right now, it's a little sore. Well, kind of a lot sore, actually. Kind of like day-to-day right now. It actually happened like the first play of the game. Browns safety Juan Thornhill kind of caught me in the bicep. I never had a stinger before, so I never knew what it felt like, so it kind of went numb for a little minute. And then I got all my feeling back, and then I was just in too much pain to go back out there. We're going to do everything possible to try to get ready for Monday night and just see how it goes during the week. But from Sunday to now, it's way much better than what it was when I suffered that injury against the Browns on Sunday. So that's Deebo Samuel talking about his injury, and I've never suffered a stinger. It sounds really painful with Deebo. This is another injury on top of last year, coming into the season a little bit overweight, which he admitted, out of shape. His production went down. And since signing that contract, which paid him to be a top 10 wide receiver in this league, a popular conversation among the faithful this week because of another Deebo injury. He's been silent really since that Thursday Night Football matchup in Week 3 against the New York Giants is the fact that Deebo maybe hasn't lived up to his contract extension. But you look at the overall numbers of what he's done in 6 games played this year, the numbers aren't terrible, but when you think about what he did last year and what he has or hasn't done this year, you're expecting a little bit more production. I do think Deebo is one of those players where, 20 catches, 302, 1 receiving touchdown. Sometimes it's not about the production that he puts forward always. It's about how defenses have to account for what he does and the mismatch that he is able to pose to defenses. I know C.J. Gardner-Johnson, safety for the Detroit Lions, said, Deebo, you're a running back. You can't run routes. I would cover your ass. I'd lock you down. I don't know. Go back and look at the tape from 2021 when he was an All-Pro. He's a special player. Still think he is a special player. Just needs to stay healthy. Grade Deebo's play since the extension. Do you think that he hasn't lived up to his deal? It's up for you to decide A, B, C, D, or F. Lastly, Trent Williams update. The good news is avoided a high ankle sprain, did not practice either on Thursday, and said that even though he came back against the Browns, he was in a lot of pain, and we saw him kind of struggle against Myles Garrett. Tall task when you're injured with a banged-up ankle because Garrett, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. Williams said, that injury, it did not feel good at all. It's football. I just tried to fight through it for my teammates. They've got a Hall of Fame rusher over there in number 95. That is Myles Garrett, by the way. And I wanted to get back out there so I could kind of help my team to try to contain him. I didn't want to put Jaylon Moore in that position. That's secretly like kind of a body toward Jaylon Moore. It's like, I wanted to be out there injured because I didn't want Jaylon Moore to be playing left tackle. Jaylon Moore did come in very briefly after Trent Williams got injured. But if he's in there for a long period of time, Brock Purdy has to look out for his backside. Trent Williams, after that injury, he did struggle, and he did struggle all throughout the day because of that against Myles Garrett. Garrett won 31% of his pass rushing snaps against Trent Williams. That is the highest percentage given up by Trent Williams in his entire career. And we're talking about a player who is one of the best left tackles of all time. This year, he's putting together another great 2023 campaign. Overall Pro Football Focus grade of 81.9, pass blocking grade of 76.2, run blocking grade of 80.7. Can you imagine Trent Williams on a little bit of a skip-out block, blocking you at that second level? If you're a linebacker or a DB, I think I might just fall to the ground and be like, yo, you're coming my way, I'm good. Number 71, full motor ahead. I don't want that smoke. 0 sacks allowed for Trent Williams and only 1 hit allowed as he continues to be one of the best tackles in the game right now despite his age. So a big matchup on Monday Night Football. San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings. Who you got at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis? SF for the Niners, MIN for the Minnesota Vikings. I do like San Francisco to win this football game, get back on track, and get that record of 6-1.